Chapter 1. Focus is a significant determinant of excellent performance. A game-changing piece of software, a stunning design, a great novel. Milestones like these take time, effort, persistence, and craft. And on a normal day, they will not seem as urgent as an email from a colleague asking for something that can wait for hours, maybe even days. No one enjoys keeping another waiting impatiently for a response. When you resume the day's job with an overflowing inbox, a list of next steps from your last meeting, and an array of voicemail messages, it is tempting to want to catch up before starting the day's work. So you tell yourself, it will become easier to focus if I clear the decks. But the problem is, you will end up spending the best part of your day on other people's priorities, and it could be mid-afternoon when you have low energy levels and slow brain processing by the time you finish. Like it or not, we are constantly forced to juggle tasks and battle unwanted distractions. To truly set ourselves apart, we must learn to be creative amidst chaos. Jocelyn Glei. This happens every day with a pile of phone messages, emails, and to-do lists to execute before focusing on personal tasks. You will spend your days on reactive work, answering questions and responding to incoming demands. You will never be able to create something worthwhile when you function this way. An effective strategy for properly managing your day is to do creative work before reactive work. Jocelyn Glei was a frustrated writer, but switching to a creative work-first technique turned her into a productive one. She starts every working day with several hours of writing and never schedules morning meetings. Therefore, no matter what happens, Glei gets her most important work done. But this has not been the easiest of decisions. It is uncomfortable to get messages starting with, "I sent you an email 2 hours ago." Ignoring requests can be difficult, but how can you achieve this? The following chapters will teach you how to put them off for later and other proven strategies for effectiveness. Chapter 2. Create routines that produce results. Creative people stick to a routine that works. To build one, you need persistence and consistency. Here are some insights that can help. Start with a rhythm at your energy levels. There are certain times when it is conducive to focus on creativity, thanks in no small part to mental alertness. When you discover that period, dedicate it to your most valuable task. Do not waste it on administrative work. Create cues. When you create a consistent environment filled with triggers, it becomes easier for you to maintain the routine. It could be creating a workspace, using the same background music, or a fixed set of tools for your work. Your environment is vital to your success. Set daily targets you can reach. Allowing things to creep into your to-do list will keep you from achieving your daily goals. Identify what you can complete per day and stick to it. Don't allow tasks that will kill your motivation to maintain your routine. You don't have to do everything in a single day. Stick to your work schedule. You must maintain a specific duration for your work. When do you begin and when do you end? Also, assign time to different types of tasks. How much time will you spend in meetings, creating content, replying to emails, and so on? Developing this regimen prevents unimportant things from stealing time meant for important work. Create a framework for inspiration by sticking to a routine instead of waiting for inspiration. Did you know? Writer Ernest Hemingway wrote 500 words per day, irrespective of how the day went. Chapter 3. Find the ability to concentrate in a world full of distractions. At some point, creative minds get torn between two opposing directions: the urge to apply intellectual sagacity to solve hard problems, which is a mentally demanding goal that requires constant focus, and the need to be always available to reply to emails, messages, and meetings, which are regular sources of distraction. What information consumes is rather obvious. It consumes the attention of its recipients. Hence, a wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. Herbert Simon. This problem arises from a lack of clear metrics in the knowledge of the work sector. For instance, a computer programmer is bombarded with emails branded urgent by their manager. As a result, he is expected to continually man his inbox, which is a distraction, leading to low quality of codes and, in turn, a low value generated by the company. But this cannot be measured, and the manager will not be reprimanded for his distracting emails, as there is no evidence of their damage. Now that we have understood how we ended up in the current productivity paradox, what is the way out? Harness the power of focus blocks to eliminate distractions and achieve success. You must set aside a sizable portion of your day for creative output. Make it weekly or daily, but treat it like an important meeting and don't swerve or waver. Here are 3 organizational tips. Begin with short durations of intense focus and increase it gradually. Do a single task per focus block. Change locations regularly. Chapter 4. Learn to tame your technological tools to serve your purpose. The co-founder of Wired magazine says that every technology takes as much as it gives because of the potential it holds for abuse. Humans' current relationship with technology is troubling. Many people dream of declaring email bankruptcy, but they are so addicted that they log in to share every idea, image, and thought. It is easy to blame technology, but the problem is us. So rather than blindly championing or unnecessarily demonizing new technology, we need to develop a subtler sensibility to it. If you want to create something worthwhile in your life, you need to draw a line between the world's demands and your own ambitions. Jocelyn Glei. The digital age demands that we challenge conventional beliefs about working and separate destructive from productive behaviors. Technology is like fire. It must be controlled to be useful. No matter what type of work you do, chances are you expend a significant amount of energy dealing with your inbox. Consequently, many people are on a constant mission to reduce their email workload, which has metamorphosed into an email efficiency craze. This has led to the development of hundreds of tools, extensions, plugins, and techniques to help manage your email. Consequently, email best practices are pretty complex to follow. To master your inbox, productivity thought leaders advise you need to do most, if not all, of the following. Label your emails for faster retrieval. Set up rules so that your email can sort itself. Archive all your emails so that you can focus. Color code your email for visual cues to priority. Use a reminder tool so that essential email chains resurface. Convert email into tasks so that nothing slips through the cracks. Track email to see when and where it gets read. Unsubscribe from excess newsletters frequently. Chapter 5. Email has become a sophisticated communication tool. Email has become the primary input and output mechanism for documents, images, videos, events, information, reminders, ideas, and conversation. With each arriving email, there is a small moment when you conceptualize what to do with it. Is this something I need to know? Something I need to come back to later? Something that requires an urgent response? Something that a friend might enjoy? Something that requires thought and reflection? Something that requires action? To maximize your inbox, Glei suggests the following 3 steps. Know your complex goals. Many people have a long list of what they want to accomplish, and the majority of these tasks are as simple as sending an invoice, emailing about a deadline, and organizing a desk. But aside from these easy tasks, some plans and aspirations require a host of complex actions and milestones for completion. These complex goals might be writing a book, visiting family, and meeting a personal idol. To achieve them, put them in your line of sight. For instance, every 4 months or so, the author identifies 2 or more challenging goals and tapes them to the desk as a constant reminder. Connect the dots. Identifying your complex goals makes it easy to determine the relationship and potential in the opportunities, content, and people hitting your inbox. Let things go. You must eliminate distracting activities to prioritize your most important goals. As you go through your inbox, if an idea or opportunity catches your fancy, think about whether pursuing it will help you accomplish them. If it won't, decline it graciously. When you receive a new message, carefully consider how it might help your overall goal. Chapter 6. Keep your creative mind sharp. Focusing on a goal alone sometimes may not get you results, so you may need to engage in activities outside your normal routine that put your brain in a diffuse mode of thinking. Push through blocks that create anxiety in you or make you criticize yourself for not being perfect. To be creatively fit, you must keep your mind engaged and on the move. The greatest enemy of creativity is standing still. In her book, The Artist's Way, Julia Cameron explains a well-known practice called the morning pages. She explains that writing 3 pages of free-flowing thoughts first thing in the morning is a way to explore latent ideas, get your creative juices flowing, and break through the voice of the censor in your head. While this exercise looks ordinary from hindsight, she argues it is the key to unlocking brilliant insights, and many people have adopted it as a ritual. This ritual, called unnecessary creation, has been credited with helping many professionals, from painting with watercolors to gardening to writing the next best American novel on the weekend. Engaging in this creative act on your terms unleashes latent passions and insights. Unnecessary creation is essential for anyone who works with their mind. Chapter 7. Creating things unnecessarily will give you the freedom to explore new possibilities. The bulk of frustrated creative pros comprises people who expect their jobs to express their creativity fully and satisfy their curiosity. These professionals push beyond boundaries set by their client or manager and continue to worry that their best work never becomes an end product due to restrictions and compromise. A 2012 study sponsored by Adobe found that about 75% of professionals in Japan, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, and the United States felt they were not living up to their full creative potential. This means there is a wide gap between what creatives do every day and what they are capable of doing with less bureaucracy and more resources. But the modern work environment has zero tolerance for risk, and resources are scarce. Therefore, if a creative only engages in his day-to-day work, he will get frustrated. Today's challenge is to keep your focus and preserve the sanctity of mind required to create and to ultimately make an impact in what matters most to you. This can only happen when you capitalize on the here and now. To do this, alternate periods of connectedness with periods of truly being present. Jocelyn Glei. List the tasks you want to devote your free time to and set a schedule to tackle these problems one at a time. The beehive of activities may prevent you from doing creative work, but you must keep at it. Also, keep a notebook to record ideas you have, questions you want to pursue, or experiments you'd like to try. In the book, Where Good Ideas Come From, Stephen Johnson explains that a good idea is a network, a specific constellation of neurons, thousands of them, fire in sync with each other for the first time in your brain, and an idea pops into your consciousness. A new idea comes from connecting similar thoughts in your mind. Conclusion. Creativity is not a talent. It is a way of operating. Stop expecting perfection because no creative work is ever fully done. Perfectionism prevents you from doing great work and makes you think your results are subpar. Don't be too hard on yourself. Let your mind express itself freely without criticism or inhibitions. Simply do your best and pour all your concentration into whatever you do. By putting pressure on yourself to do everything perfectly, you're stunting your progress. Nobody is perfect, so stop trying to aim for the impossible. Instead, create focus blocks that allow you to prioritize creative over reactive work. The things that are important are often not urgent, and thus they get relegated to the background. Dedicate time to everything that is important and see how much happier and calmer you'll feel. When you give yourself the freedom to explore the creative ideas in your mind, with no boundaries or restrictions on where it leads, you will experience a creative breakthrough in all areas of your life and work. Your mind will no longer be cluttered, and you will have time to spend with those who are important in your life. By attempting to tick 1,000,000 boxes every day and rush from one job to another, you're only causing a major block in your mind. When you simplify things and stop expecting out-of-this-world results, you'll feel far more in control than ever before. Try this. Perform the difficult tasks in the early part of your day. If you start your early mornings by answering emails, it will become difficult to switch to complex jobs later. Always start a task from a point that has nothing to do with the project itself to prevent your brain from thinking in repetition. Begin by thinking about something you've seen or done before. This is you fooling your brain out of thinking in repetition. This way, you will be able to produce great creative work daily.